All right, let's just dive right in. We're going to kick things off with a hypothetical, a look into the near future to understand a very real conflict that's happening right now, under the surface. It's got geopolitics, it's got resources, and it's got this totally new kind of money that's changing all the rules. Let's break down this monetary war that Bitcoin was really built for. So I want you to imagine it's 2026. You wake up, you check your phone, and boom, this is the headline staring back at you. Just like that, a massive regime change is all over the news. But you have to remember, capital always moves first, and the stories we're told, well, those come later. So what's the official story here going to be?
You know how these things go, right? The official story. It's always going to be something simple, something easy to get behind. Maybe it's a war on drugs, maybe it's about securing oil supplies. But with everything shifting on the world stage, you've got to ask yourself, is that really the whole story? Or is there something much, much bigger going on here?
So let's do exactly that. Let's start unpacking this. To really get what's happening, you have to look right past those surface-level headlines and start digging into the real incentives, the hidden roots that are driving these huge global power moves. Okay, so here's the deal. While the story they sell to the public might be something clean and simple, the real game is almost always about one thing: control. It's control over energy, which, underpins the whole global economy. It's control over these strategic minerals that are absolutely crucial for the AI arms race. And at the end of the day, it's about controlling the money itself, the resources and the rails that the entire world order is built on.
And this is where our little 2026 thought experiment gets really, really interesting. Because now there's a brand new piece on the geopolitical chessboard. It's an asset that just doesn't play by the old rules. It doesn't respect borders, and it certainly doesn't respect the traditional systems of control.
Now get this, and look, this is just a rumor, we don't know for sure, but the talk on the street is that a state like Venezuela, desperate to get around the US banking system, might have been quietly stacking a massive reserve of Bitcoin. We are talking over 500,000 coins. Now, whether that's true or not almost doesn't even matter. The possibility of it, that alone changes the game and forces a brand new question. And this scenario forces us to ask this huge question, the one you see right here. If you can topple a government, can you seize its Bitcoin? I mean, that question cuts right to the heart of what Bitcoin is supposed to be, this unseizable, sovereign asset. But here's the thing, and this is the key. That's actually the wrong question to be asking. See, the real battle, it isn't about trying to hack Bitcoin or break the network itself. That's, next to impossible. The real fight, the one that's happening quietly right now, is way more subtle. It's a fight for custody. And custody is really just a fancy word for who actually holds the keys, who actually controls the asset. And what's fascinating is there's a predictable playbook for this. The analyst Jeff Booth lays it out perfectly. When a system of control faces a threat it can't kill, it moves to the next phase. For years, they tried to kill Bitcoin with all those negative headlines. It's for criminals, it boils the oceans, all that stuff. Well, that clearly didn't work. It survived. So now we're deep into step 3. They're trying to co-opt it, to basically absorb it into the very system they already control. And this quote from Simon Dixon, man, it just nails the strategy perfectly. They want you, they want everybody else, to own Bitcoin through a third party, an ETF, a custodian. But for themselves, they want the real thing. They want to hold it in self-custody. So you end up with a paper claim, an IOU, while they get the actual control. So this brings us to a really important fork in the road, a crucial choice about how you can own Bitcoin and what that choice really means for your future. Okay, let's break this down because this is everything. On one side, you have Bitcoin inside the system. This is your ETFs, your paper claims held by someone else. Yeah, it's convenient, but it can be controlled, it can be frozen, it can be lent out without you even knowing. On the other side, you have Bitcoin as it exists, as it was designed, a real, sovereign, permissionless asset that you control. That's self-custody. And the difference between these two isn't some small technical detail, it is the whole game. So why? Why is this battle over custody coming to a head right now, at this exact moment? Well, it's because we've got two giant, powerful opposing forces that are on a direct collision course. So on one hand, you have the natural path of technology. Things like AI. They naturally want to make everything better and cheaper. This creates abundance. We call that deflation. But our entire financial system is built on debt. It needs inflation to survive. It requires prices to always go up. So you have this insane race going on. The system has to extract value from you through inflation faster than technology can create that value for you.
That's the core conflict of our time.
So, when you hear about these new innovations like central bank digital currencies or CBDCs, don't think of them as an escape ramp. They're not. They are new high tech rails for the exact same system of control. They're designed to lock you in even tighter. Bitcoin is the only tool that's actually designed to let you step off that track entirely.
Okay, so we've talked about geopolitics, we've talked about monetary theory, a lot of really big picture stuff. Let's bring all of this down to what it actually means for you, the individual. How do you possibly navigate a landscape like this?
This is where Bitcoin offers something pretty profound, a peaceful exit. This isn't about fighting the system or overthrowing anything. It's much simpler. It's about choosing not to play a rigged game. It's a parallel way to save, a way to store your time and your energy in something that can't be inflated away or seized without your permission. So, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means you start treating self custody not as some technical chore, but as a fundamental life skill, kind of like learning to swim or drive a car. It's that important now. It means being super wary of anything that pulls you back into the old system, like using a lot of leverage. And it means consciously voting with your capital, supporting the tools and the people who are building out this parallel economy.
And that brings us right back to where we started. That hypothetical headline about Venezuela. It was never really about Venezuela, was it? It was just a lens, a way to see the real global conflict for what it is, a fight for control. The ultimate battleground isn't over land or oil anymore. It's for custody of the one asset they can't make more of. So the real question, the only one that really matters in the end, is the one right here on the screen. How will you hold yours?